Giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Akakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught me this truth that will well. Shalom to the elect scattered through the four corners of the earth. My name is Kwadash Paya, and these are different clips of footage that was taken by people throughout the United States recording different vehicles, military personnel, troops, tanks, driving down highways, different choppers and military, aircraft. And here it is, we're in June, I believe 18th, 2023, and this has been seen all throughout simultaneously. At the same time, there's been talks of cyber attacks, situations with the banks, and, whether these are exercises or drills, for that reason, we don't know, right? But it's not a coincidence, and it's been seen in Philadelphia, Washington D.C., even in the UK, look over there in Mexico, right? All gearing up, right? And we know there's about almost 800 different military bases in the United States alone, so there is an economic collapse to usher in the CBDC. We'll see. We know what happened in 2020, right? What that brought. So we'll see what happens, because you even had the president of China speaking about it, and this, if there is an outage, right, that can affect water, food, medicine, generators, right, that'll cause people to uproar within the first 4 days, really uproar, no work, right? If people die, they're gonna have to get buried that same day, and they could blame it on whoever, or it can be to usher in, like I said, to usher in this new CBDC. Because remember, when people had trouble taking money out their banks, right? So this could be, for military personnels, for civil unrest, when people start rioting or whatever the case may be, wanting things to go back to normal. However, we'll see, right? This is why the scriptures say watch and pray, because all in all, we know what it boils down to, and we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, right? But the people that are not watching are going to get caught like a thief in the night. And this is an article real quick, right? Because senators issued satellite phones, offered a demonstration on upgraded security devices. This was like 2 weeks ago. And I want to read these two articles, paragraphs real quick, and we're going to get some scriptures, right? It says, because they always, plan things, or do certain things before an event, before a trial, before the major event actually happens. See, gradualism. This is, it says in testimony before the Senate Appropriations Committee last month, Senate Surgeon at Arms Karen Gibson said satellite communication is being deployed to ensure a redundant and security, ensure a redundant and secure means of communication during a disruptive event. Now, what is this disruptive event going to be, and why? Well, it can be many of the other reasons I'd said, but why? We all know the major reason why, right? Not only just for digital currency, but because even like the elder brother Amon Gabar mentioned, they could have the CBDC be in place, right? And then have that grid get disrupted, right? So they can usher in a digital device inside people rather than trusting in a vulnerable grid, right, that can easily be attacked. You see, because they also have a method called problem, reaction, solution. Alright, so they prepare things. So they were preparing it for what? A disruptive event. And we know about the J to the Helm 20, whatever. You know, these military, runs. Because hey man, that's why you gotta be able to read between the lines when they speak about certain things. And then have events. This Psalm 64:1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David, hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Pardon me. Alright, so you gotta know who the enemy is to know his tactics. Because it's a repetitive thing. That Esau, these elites, right? The banking families that run the Fed, that run the oil, that has the gold, run, these royal families like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, so on and so forth, right? It says, and they control the narrative, the information, on these platforms. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. And before 2020 lockdowns happened, they had plans for that before it even occurred. Those are what secret counsels, that people are not aware of. And then when they see things happen, they don't know what's going on because they're not aware of it. You see? But the elect, like the scripture said, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We're not ignorant. Like the scriptures also say, be not ignorant of anything small or great. It says from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. And one of the I believe one of the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers, they have mentioned about all they need is a good crisis, for their agenda to come into place. And we know that they have but a short time, as it tells you in the book of Revelation chapter 12 verse 12. So things are speeding up, man. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. All in all, it's the Lord doing it. Like it tells you in Zephaniah, we're going to get that, how the Lord is gathering the nations. So the Lord is gathering the nations also for what? The third world woe. You see? Zephaniah 3 and 8. Why? Because the Lord is controlling the kings of the earth. Psalms 21. See? So he's the one that's orchestrating this. For the downfall of this place, Babylon the Great, America. For what? Esau is the end of the world and Jacob's the beginning thereof. That following, roughly paraphrasing. You see? And this is why you've seen all the military exercises going on now, also with NATO in the borders of Russia. So things are intensifying. China in Africa, right? So that's why we gotta watch and pray to be able to understand what's going on, to give the trumpet, the sound of warning to the people, like it tells you in Ezekiel, the 7th chapter, around the 14th verse. To make them ready, right? But it says they commune of lying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? So with them encourage themselves in the evil matter, they commune of lying snares privately, meaning what? Traps here, there, burning, we're gonna burn the forest. Now what? People can't flee to these places. right? You know, you can't go to the borders. You know, that's gonna disrupt also people trying to catch flights. You know, driving cars, or it'll give people to program the minds of getting used to seeing troops at the supermarkets, at the turnpikes, you know, turnstiles, or whatever the case is. Just like that show that used to be on the called Colony, that was on Netflix, you know, where you had complete martial law, and also it was a bargain system where people started trading the goods that they had, you know, because there was no fiat currency. See, so even with the shows and the movies, you have something called what? Predictive programming, right? Watch the movie The Fifth Wave as well. Even the movie Bushwick, another good one. Verse 6, they search out iniquity, they accomplish a diligent search. So they've been plotting this, you know, for so long now, writing books and, you know, with the method of their madness of Esau, right? To finally bring in their NWO, which ultimately is going to be collapsed by the Lord Yahushua when he comes back with the holy angels. Read the book of Acts chapter 5 verse 38. You know, their counsels is going to be destroyed. It's going to come to naught. You know, Job 20, right? It says both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So their minds is deep. What they study the people, they study, you know, you got social engineering, you know, order out of chaos, right? So us as prophets, we watching these events, filtering it through the prophecies, the scriptures, and if it just falls back onto them, right? Because the dark is coming to light. So let's get the book of Psalms. Bringing out the truth against them is what? Bringing down strongholds, you know? Psalms 37 and 12. Right? The wicked plotted against the just and gnashes upon him with his teeth. So they're plotting, you know? The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. Right? And these elites know that their time is coming. You know? That's why they're gonna come down with great wrath, knowing that they have but a short time. Right? The wicked have drawn out the sword. And what? When you read about Joel, right? About, you know, the mighty men preparing for war. These are the times we're living in. You know, wars in the air. You know? And then also there was an article where, you know, the elder, I believe Elder Malcolm had brought out with skulls wearing World War II helmets of the Nazis that washed up on shore after, I believe, a bomb hit the ocean around Ukraine so massive that it brought out skulls from the grounds of the shores. And it's like an omen, because that's the time we're in, you know? And what, like the scripture said, the third world cometh quickly. Anyway, it says their sword, 14, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. So everything they working for, plotting, coming up with, gearing up for, it's gonna be for their own downfall. You know, when you read about Haman, how he tried to plot against Esther and Mordecai, the device he used, you know, was for his own downfall and his family. And that's going to happen to Esau and the rest of the nation of Edom with everything we're seeing now. Now, real quick, let's get the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse number 8. It says, "Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord." So we're supposed to wait for the Lord, because the rest of the people are gonna fall by the snares of this place, of what's going on. Read Isaiah 31st chapter, 1 all the way down to the 5th verse, because then it tells you how the Lord is gonna save the elect. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations." That's what the Lord is doing, gathering the nations, gathering things together. For what? That I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation. But the Lord, a righteous judgment. When he brings judgment, he's going to be justified for it. "Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." And the Lord is bringing fire, and he's coming with fire. Alright, so the beginning of sorrows is coming, and we're approaching Jacob's troubles. Alright, real quick, Lord willing, we close off on here. 2 Ezra 16 and 17. "Woe is me, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?" Alright, so that's coming. Hey, the only thing we can do is get right with the Lord, doing that which is pleasing in His sight, praying to the true name Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makar Qudash, rehearsing these righteous acts, right? Continuously, meditating in His word, praying, fasting, watching, and doing everything that the Lord said to do, to the best of your ability, and hopefully He had mercy on you. It says, "Behold, famine and plagues, tribulation and anguish are sent as a scourge for an amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges." And that's why the Lord is bringing it. And then, food price is going to go up. Everything is going to skyrocket as well. But anyway, I didn't want this to be too long. This is why the scriptures say wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. The wisdom and knowledge according to the scriptures. Not the wisdom of this world. But faith and knowing who and what you're having faith in. So what? Isaiah 55 and 6, "Seek ye the Lord while He may be found. Call upon Him while He is near." Jacob's trouble is approaching. Troubled times, sorrowful lamentations, mournings, and woes is coming upon this earth. Dark times is coming. Wars in the air. So with that, shalom.